Salam alaikum, kia ora tātou. It's great to be here with you in solidarity with the Palestinian people. I was speaking to a friend of mine in Gaza the other day. His name's Hamada, and we were chatting on the telephone, and I said to him, we talked about what was going on. We spoke for about an hour. We'd worked together in Gaza and the West Bank for about 4 years together. And I said, what were you doing, what are you doing at the moment? He said, last night I was in the basement of my apartment building with my two kids. He's got a 12-year-old and a 6-year-old. And he said my 6-year-old was crying uncontrollably because of the bombing that was going on around. He was just so scared. I don't think, we know of the deaths, we know of the injuries, but all of the other people of Gaza and what they've gone through, we should really think about how it's affected them and how it's affected, most importantly, the children. A little while ago, when I was in Gaza, there was a human rights group did a survey of kids in their teens about what they wanted to do. A quarter of them, all they thought was that they were going to die before they got grown up, and what they wanted to do was to go and kill an Israeli. And that's the situation we have when you keep those people, that number of people, in what is being called and what can only be described as the biggest open-air prison in the world. This friend of mine, Hamada, on one occasion, we got a pass for him to go from Gaza into Jerusalem, where he was able to pray at the Al-Aqsa Mosque for the only time in his life. This is his most sacred place, and all we were wanting to do was to pray and worship at his important and most important place to him. Medical treatment, food. I've sat with Israeli generals and argued how many tons of flour is enough. What do you mean enough? What's enough mean? Enough, this is about a prison guard explaining to me how much food a prisoner needs to have so that they have enough. We have a truce at the moment. We have a pause in the fighting. But this pause, if this pause goes on and all we end up with is a continuation of what we had before, of an area that is locked together so people can't move freely and people can't enjoy the basic freedoms and dignity that they need and they have, then we will have got nowhere, and we will have violence in another few years. We have in New Zealand right now our superannuation fund funding a company in Israel that makes white phosphorus. And if you don't know what white phosphorus does to you in armaments, go on Google and Google it. And, you know, have a strong drink before you do it. It burns through people. We should not be doing that, and I think it's a disgrace that our super fund is funding that organisation and that industry. And it should end. It should end. So I wanted to say, look, the Middle East peace is complicated, but there's something that's really, really simple, and that's the end of the occupation. 47 years. You have to end the occupation, and we have to give the Palestinians the freedom that they deserve. Kia ora kaha.